Yo, Cutlass Keys video means I get to play Gangplank Galleon, but yeah, I thought this was just like a PvP area. I know not all of Cutlass Keys is the free-for-all zone, but it doesn't really seem like there's any reason to be here unless you're in a large PvP group, even for like some of these areas, because they're really high level. Like, that's gonna be tricky to deal with, and I guess like regular players can come over here for the Gorgon raid, but it didn't really seem like there was any reason to be here, and man, was I completely wrong. So if you had the same impression of like, yeah, why am I, like, I don't PvP, I just want to run around and have fun, why would I ever go to Cutlass Keys? This video's kind of show you why, because there's a lot of really cool stuff. You can pick up side stories that give you mystic doubloons. So you actually just get mystic doubloons throughout the area, not only in the PvP zone, and you can get a lot of them through quests and repeatable quests. So you just farm that, make a little bit of coin, and it's kind of crazy, where it's like, yeah, I can get 400 mystic doubloons for running through some of the areas and a few thousand coin. Okay, and we can take a look at the map again and kind of see how all of this plays out. So yeah, you do all of this. You can run high-level faction missions as well. And while it is tricky, while the content is kind of high level, really, you should be spending all of your time in Cutlass Keys as though you were spending all of your time elsewhere. Like when I first started playing the game, and before Brimstone Sands came out, just spend all your time in Shattered Mountain. I was running, you know, these little outpost areas, and then I was doing the faction missions, and then I was getting, like, the stockpile chest runs, and that was it. That was my gameplay loop. So if your PvE gameplay loop is just running through landmarks and doing faction missions or trying to, like, loot the chests in the area, there you go. And then a lot of my Brimstone Sands came down to farming ectoplasm in this area, and if you watch my weapon guides, yeah, I just run around through here, clean out the enemies, get loot, and hope for some kind of upgrade in between expeditions and elite chest runs. Now, this is, like, now your goal is to get strong, so you can just do the same thing out here. And it's also kind of weird because there's no water marking anymore. You can just buy 700 gear score items pretty cheaply. So you just hit level 65, get the best gear you can with Enchanted, and then you just run through Cutlass Keys and upgrade. And real quick, we're going to get back to the video, but huge G Fuel announcement, Halloween BOGO, buy one, get one free. October 24th to October 31st, now is the time to stock up on all the energy drinks you think you're going to need, playing New World, any other games, work, school, whatever's going on. Use my BOGO link down below. Back to the video. So yeah, Cutlass Keys isn't a spooky, difficult area where you just need like a PvP raid group throughout the entire area. So let's go and do one of these little quests. It's actually not super hard. We have another one for just collecting stuff off of bobcats and alligators. I need to pin this one at some point. But yeah, like you look at man, that guy's level 66. Ow, I just took all my health. This might be strong. But actually, they have like, these guys are glass cannons out in the area. So they do tons of damage, but they also take tons of damage, and then you need to kind of come through and do the objectives. And yeah, look at that, boom, we'll grab all these guys. And also there's going to be other people here depending on like how populated the server is and how many people are in the end game, so you can flag and risk, or you can just kind of come here as a PvE player and get all of your objectives done. So there was some kind of objective here I cleared with some other dude, and now I can turn in the quest apparently. So I'm guessing it was just like one of those active mission things that you just start up. So yeah, actually these quests are easy peasy, just like any other PvE quests that you had in Brimstone Sands for the first time, or doing faction missions in the Elysian Wilds. Even though the content is higher than your level, that's why you get 700 gear score, and then you can roll the purple chests and get higher than 700 gear score and get even better and stronger. So here's like you're just running around gameplay loop for single player, which is nice. So you don't need to get a raid group. You don't have to do M3 mutations. You just chill. Even if you don't care about the PvP or high level content, there's still a really good reason to go out to Cutlass Keys and at least explore everything going on. That's because of these season missions. That you actually have a lot of stuff. You make it to chapter 4 and it's 3,000 season experience to discover every point of interest. And there's like not anything crazy or secret about it, where it's like, yeah, just run through this area, you go to all the question mark, you go to anything that has a highlighted border around it, because not all of the points of interest show up on the map as a question mark, and then you go there and you discover them all. Maybe you find some like interesting activities to do while there, and then you just get the season experience on top of that. Yikes. Well, we did our thing. Yay. Yeah, that dude's too strong. And there we go. We can check out some of the rewards. We also get a lot of standing, so it's probably really good to just do all of the quests and then cash them in at the same time while you're using a booster. Because off of the season quest, you can just kind of get a territory standing booster and just like turbocharge your Cutlass keys standing and then get more faction points and standing and all the other things you get from having territory standing. But I also want to show some of the loot because the items also scale pretty well. Sometimes it's bind on equip, sometimes it's bind to player. Can make some crazy money or get some crazy items. 680 boots with conditioning, health, refreshing. Not the best, but you can find upgrades here, or at least a little bit of extra profit through selling things. And then cashing in on the doubloons is going to be the big thing. I also got this, the engineer manuals. Alright, we can probably get a little bit for it. If I don't care about losing like 500-600 coin, we can do the insta-buy, so price should hold for a bit, especially as everyone's like trying to go for the crazy crafting and stuff. Then again, we can just look at potential gear upgrades and fun stuff like that. Just grab Enchanted Ward. And then we sort by gear score and we see how many pieces of 700 gear score Enchanted Ward is out there. The prices are definitely outrageous for some people, but others are reasonable. You can also put a cap on the price range depending on what you're comfortable paying for, and then just look for like the highest gear score you want to get those upgrades, and then you get stronger. It's mostly about completing the content. If you're just getting into this, you're not here for the bis. But bro, look at that. Arcane Harnessing Focus for the Flail. It's Enchanted Ward Refreshing, not luck, but if you're not like needing that for luck content for 100, sorry, I'm taking that one. I know it's like the rich get richer kind of thing, but it shows like, yeah, there's actually a lot of good biased gear coming into the game. So it mostly goes into how you want to play. I'm still egoing out here because I have a lot of experience with the game, but it's actually like, yeah, there's a lot of power and even regular cut onyx or brilliant diamonds and stuff, so you don't have to get the pristine and break the bank on 660 gear score you're looking to replace at some point. So I'm still like doing fine out here in Cutlass keys on just moderate gear. That costs pretty much nothing to grab. I think I showed this in a video where like this was $750. It's like, yeah, that's under 1,000. Done. Easy. No questions asked. Which brings us to 700 gear score. So I wanted to test something out because I opened up the epic crates and then I got under 700 gear score for the doubloon swap. So I wonder if it actually kind of like takes your gear score and it's a soft watermarking to where like, oh, if you have close to 700 gear, then it upgrades you. Or maybe it's a random range from like 690 to 710. But if you have higher level gear, it might skew to the 710 better. So I wanted to try that. I want to grab a trinket crate, and then I want to grab some pants and see if we actually get a pants upgrade. Because the other pants I got were 704. Also, you don't need only Enchanted Ward out here because there's a lot of ranged attacks as well. So Physical Aversion is also really good if you primarily farm Cutlass keys because there's a lot of people with pistols out here. So a few pieces of that are also recommended and it makes it easier to kind of build out. Well, let's see if we actually get like some higher gear score. 706. Okay, and does our jewelry get better? 694. So still locked on that. Yeah, getting like the 710 jewelry seems to be a pain. But now that we have 706, do we creep up into a 710? No. Okay, so hey, there we go. I tested it, and I guess the range is like 690 to 710, and then it's just whatever RNG from there. I was hoping it did have some kind of like watermark, or not only a attribute bias, but gear score bias. But you can just kind of like roll and hope you get the crazy upgrade. Because the current pants I have, Enchanted Ward Luck 663. So even if I get Physical Aversion Luck 705, that's a huge upgrade. Into consideration when opening these chests is make sure you're in the correct equip load you want to upgrade. I don't know if it's hard to confirm that like gear biasing affects equip load, but I'm superstitious like that. Why take the chance? Actually, my main pants and main helmet kind of suck, so let's see if we can use everything we've gained to get an upgrade. And it shows like you don't have to be a PvP player to get the massive advantages from Cutlass keys, and even the PvP zone. So get your weekly glittering gold key, only costs 5 doubloons, you get that super easy. Get your 500 for the week, you can save up, you can do whatever. You can poke your head into the lawless zone as well. If you're playing late at night, if it's low pop, yeah, try to like go in and see what you can get, because these aren't like super duper scary elite areas like it might seem. Like, no, these are the same kind of enemies. You can find the stockpiles, and then you get your coconut for the week, and you're good to go. One thing I didn't mention in my first Cutlass Keys video, even though it's in the dev blog, If someone loots a chest, that chest goes on cooldown and just disappears until it respawns. So if you're like looking at a map, it's like, wait, why isn't there a chest here? That's because someone else already claimed it, and you're gonna have to wait a bit until it comes back. But also, like, if you've made it this far in the game, you should have some game sense where it's like, oh, and this part in this corner is usually where it feels like a place where stockpile would go. So you kind of like search it out through that, or you try to find a map that's fully updated, because there's still like a lot of points in a lot of areas. So you can definitely come out of here with a couple of doubloons, a coconut a week, and then get your upgrades. Also, you do the daily run through the elite area, and you're just set, and you're getting upgrades, and everything's great. So yeah, all of Cutlass Keys is an awesome place. This is where you want to run around in the end game to then find those little grinds to then make small amounts of power increases, because that is what the gaming is about. Numbers go up. If you play MMOs for the numbers go up treadmill, Cutlass Keys is the place for you, and it's the entirety of Cutlass Keys. And then maybe that'll kind of like make you strong enough where it's like, yeah, now I can actually do pretty well in the raids and all that fun stuff. And there we go. Now you're gaming. Hope you enjoy the video. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.